What is the exact step-by-step process for how to get onto Broadway? If you're a young person, if you're in high school, and you're just curious how to actually go down that path, that's what this video is for, to lay out the well-tread path that many other Broadway actors have taken, and also some different options that you can weigh that work best for you. Now, first thing to get out of the way, no, I'm not a Broadway actor myself. I'm not here to tell you, oh, this is my experience and this is how I got onto Broadway or something like that. This is a research-based video based on actors who have been on Broadway and also people who teach and who help other young actors get on that path. Personally, I think that would be a better approach anyway. I wouldn't just want to hear one person say, well, this is how I got onto Broadway, this is the education path I took, so you should just copy and paste exactly what I did. I don't think that's a good way to take information, so I'm going to do my best to show you the different paths you can take, and you can decide which one would work better for you. Alright, so I'm going to try to distill it into 4 basic steps. It kind of oversimplifies it to make it seem like it's really easy, but these steps are by no means easy, and it's going to take a lot of hard work and a lot of passion especially. Alright, the first basic step I have, especially for if you're a young person, is just to explore the art and explore your talent. See what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, what you enjoy doing, what you don't enjoy. Maybe you enjoy being more of a comedic actor, maybe you like more drama, or maybe you're a dancer, or maybe you're more of a singer. Try to see what categories you kind of fit into, and then use that to project what your future would look like. So a kind of a sub-point to this step is do shows. Do shows in high school, do community theater, see what shows are in your local area, and really just take any role just to learn. Don't be snobbish and say, I'm only going to take principal roles, because anytime you're in a show, you're learning more and more about the art. And the other important subpoint is be willing to learn. Don't get cocky and get it in your head that you know everything, you know more than the director, you know more than the teachers. You have to stay humble, and that's going to carry out into all these steps, all the way to even if you're on Broadway being cast in a show, you still have to be humble and allow directors to tell you if you've gone too far somewhere or you need to change a choice here. This is very important. Teachers are not going to have a lot of respect for you if you aren't humble enough to take their teachings. Moving on, the second major step that I have here is the education path. So it's amazing if you were able to know by high school that you wanted to be in theater and you were able to do shows and really explore from there. But once we move past high school, think about whether you want to become a theater major in college, or consider maybe if you want to enter a drama conservatory. Corey Mitchell, an award-winning drama teacher at Northwest School of Arts in Charlotte, North Carolina, weighs the pros and cons of either becoming a theater major in university or joining a conservatory. So the benefits of going down the university path and becoming a theater major is, first of all, it could potentially be less expensive than a conservatory. It's easier to get scholarships for college. You can get financial aid, all that sort of stuff. Also, you're more likely to have colleges in your area that offer theater programs, whereas conservatories might be more in bigger cities. You might have to move to, like, if you're in California, like the Bay Area, or down south out in LA. So that could also be a reason to go the university path rather than the conservatory path. Also, according to Corey Mitchell, you get more of a diversity of options in college. You can learn directing, producing, acting, singing, dancing, or multiple ones of those in the same college. And you get a broader, more comprehensive education about liberal arts in general. Now, the benefits of doing a conservatory is they tend to be very laser focused. So if you know that you want to become an actor, then you'll get a very comprehensive education about that specific thing. Same if you want to become a singer, if you want to become a dancer, whatever you choose, you get a very comprehensive, direct education about that specific thing. Also, another benefit Corey Mitchell discussed was that you can get more connections to the professional world from a conservatory. Conservatories kind of have a little bit more credibility since it takes more commitment from the students. So generally, people in the professional world can more so than graduates. Now, some universities actually house their own acting conservatories, so that's kind of the best of both worlds. So for instance, New York University has the Tisch School of Arts, University of Michigan has the School of Music, Theater, and Dance. So if you can find a program like that, that might be great for you as well. The third step is to start auditioning. Now actually, I say it's the third step, but auditioning is something you can do whenever you're available. Even if you're going to college, if you have the opportunity to audition for something, you probably should do it, during the summer or something like that. Now, should you quit school if you get a really good gig? I personally don't recommend it. The research doesn't recommend it. I know in Glee there was this subplot of Rachel Berry when she went to this school. Whoopi Goldberg, I think, played the professor of that school, and she was making this decision because she got a Broadway role as to whether she should quit school and go to that role, and that ended up being the wrong decision. So, take a message from Glee, ladies and gentlemen. So a few things you'll want to do. First of all, you might benefit from moving to a bigger city, perhaps Chicago, New York City, Los Angeles maybe. There's a lot of theater potential there. The Bay Area as well. You'll want to prepare a headshot, acting resume, build a social social media presence, maybe make your own website, and most of all, you'll want to find professional connections. If you know anybody from the theater world, use anything you've got to build professional connections, because any of that could help you get your first major role. Also, after you graduate from a college program, you might also want to pursue the MFA, Master of Fine Arts, so that might also be something to do after the bachelor's program in college. Okay, the fourth and final step I'm going to go over in this video is joining Actors Equity. Actors Equity is a union that many actors on the stage join, because one, it protects them and allows them to get paid properly, and it gives you a ton of credibility because it's not easy to get into the union. And that's what I'm going to get into in this video, how to join Actors Equity, because you don't just sign up and join it. It's much more complicated than that. So the first thing you want to do is register for the Equity Membership Candidate Program. You usually have to pay maybe a $200 non-refundable registration fee, and also you have to do shows that offer the EMC program. You must accrue 25 weeks of work in a theater company that uses the EMC program, and then those weeks get reported to Actors Equity. And of course, once you get into the union, you do have to pay dues, as with any workers union. The website for the Actors Equity Association is in the link. That's where I got all the information I have is from their website. So I would recommend going to that website and really getting a more comprehensive view of how to get into that program. One more thing, once you get into the union, is know the difference between EPA and ECC. So this determines what kind of roles you audition for. EPA stands for Equity Principal Auditions, so that's if you're going for specific principal roles. ECC stands for Equity Chorus Calls. That would be more for background dancers or singers. And the key here is just focus on the auditions where you would excel. This goes back to the beginning. Throughout this whole process, you should be examining your talents, where you're strong, where you're not as strong, and focus on the roles that you feel would show your best strengths. And from there, it's really about the stars aligning a little bit. It could be a professional connection that gets you your first role. It could be a great audition. There really isn't a step after that, but those are the things that you can do to maximize your chances of getting onto Broadway. And throughout all these steps, just remember, be diligent, be humble, and be focused. Oh, and one more thing, practice from steps 1 to 4 when you're on Broadway. Actually practice for real. Protect your voice. Get a body-sized mirror so you can actually see your whole body when you perform. You should actually perform it in front of a mirror, or at least actually vocally perform it. Try to break that self-consciousness if you live with roommates or live with family, and just do it and perform. And really be honest with yourself, self-reflect, think about where you're weak. Am I not singing from my diaphragm enough? When I was doing this, I realized I was kind of closing my throat. I wasn't opening my throat when I sang, and it felt weird to do it. It felt like I was yawning, but I noticed I wasn't doing that. I self-reflected and realized I needed to work on that. So that's one example. And with that, I hope you excel if you're trying to get into professional theater. I hope you get on Broadway. Hope you win a Tony. With that said, thank you for watching. Leave a like if this was helpful. Click subscribe if you want more theater-related content and discussions. Keep loving theater. I'll see you next time.